Okay, it's time for a little honesty. Are you ready? How do you feel when it's time to talk about your offers? Do you hesitate? Maybe you soften your language, apologize for taking up space, or worry that you're being too pushy. I totally get it. For so many entrepreneurs, selling brings up all sorts of emotions. But what if I told you that conversion isn't about pressure? It's about permission. Permission for someone to take the next step with you because they trust you, because you've already shown them what's possible. That's what we're diving into today in our fifth episode in the Client Journey mini series. Let's talk about how to turn connection into confident, aligned conversion. Welcome to the Powerful Content Podcast, your go-to source for content creation, strategy, and business inspiration. I'm your host, Mel Daniels, content strategist, coach, and speaker, empowering women across the globe to grow their business with powerful content that connects, nurtures, and converts. So, if you're ready to create standout content that gets you noticed and remembered, or build an aligned audience who love you and are ready to buy from you, you're in the right place. I believe that content has the power to connect us all. It's up to you how you use it. Listen in for genuine and insightful chats with guests, as well as practical tools and strategies from me. It's so lovely to have you here. Let's dive into the show. I acknowledge the Wongal people of the Eora Nation as the traditional custodians of the country that I am recording from today. I recognise their continuing connection to the land and waters. I pay my respects to elders past and present and extend that respect to all First Nation people listening today. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to episode 189 of the Powerful Content Podcast and the last in the Client Journey mini-series. I hope you've been enjoying them. So far, we've covered an overview of the client journey and taken a closer look into the first three stages of connect, subscribe, and nurture. So this week, we're focusing on the convert stage. Now, when someone says the phrase conversion content to me, it kind of brings up ideas of manipulative content, something that may trick people or use less than ideal tactics, such as FOMO to get someone to buy. And I think that for you, my beautiful heart-led entrepreneur, the discomfort of selling really stems from a place of feeling like that's the only way to sell to people. Well, you're born to serve. So charging for your work can feel a little weird sometimes. Am I right? But if we're thinking of this as a journey, our ideal client takes with us as simply that, a journey, then the next logical and aligned step after you've connected with them, they've subscribed to your list, and then you've been nurturing them, is for them to buy off you. Now, this is the moment where your audience says yes to working with you. But when you've built trust along the journey, conversion doesn't end up feeling like it's pushy or forced. It really feels like the next natural step. And your content here focuses on reassurance, alignment, and excitement for what's to come. I want you to see conversion and using content for conversion as a natural and really supportive step in the client journey, not something to dread or overthink. The convert stage of the client journey is really where interest becomes intention, and the intention then becomes action when they purchase from you. It's not about convincing someone to buy from you. It's about creating that opportunity for them to choose what's right for them. So when you've connected authentically and nurtured with purpose, conversion becomes absolutely natural. It feels like a conversation, not a pitch or a hard sell. It's really an invitation to a friend. Rather than pushing someone forward, it's saying, here's how I can help you further. And if you've done the earlier stages well in the client journey, it won't feel like selling. It'll feel 100% like serving. Using your content to convert is really important. So many heart-led entrepreneurs shy away from the convert stage because it kind of feels a little bit self-serving. You love connecting, you're happy to nurture, but when it's time to sell, the energy can shift a little. But the thing is, conversion content isn't about taking from your audience, it's about helping them take that next step that will truly serve them. So, without content that is designed to convert, your business becomes a one-way conversation. You give and give and give, but you never create the opportunity for people to go deeper with you. So, when you embrace aligned conversion, you're allowing your audience to invest not just their money, but their trust and energy into something that helps them to grow. So, when it comes to creating content that converts, there's probably four main mistakes that I see. The first one is focusing solely on the sale, not the transformation. So, when we get caught up in the numbers, the conversions, the launch goals, the sales targets, we can forget that every single sale that we make represents a beautiful human being. Conversion is never, never, ever, ever about transaction. It's about transformation. So leave the desperation at the door and instead focus on showing your audience what's possible for them, how life or business can look different because of your support. The second thing is assuming that people know what to actually do next. It's easy to think that your audience just knows how to work with you, but most of the time they don't. If you don't guide them with clear, confident calls to action, you really miss the opportunity to help them. And your audience wants clarity, so make the next step obvious and easy. Mistake number three is underplaying your value. So many of us do this. Yes, even me. You tell yourself, I don't want to bother people, or I know money's tight right now. But the moment that you soften your message or apologize for selling, you communicate doubt. Believe in your offer. Stand tall in your expertise. You're not taking from your audience, you're giving them a chance to grow and change for the better. And mistake number four is not tracking or reflecting on what's actually working. So we often pour our energy into the creating and the launching, all of the doing, but skip the part where we reflect, where we take a moment. What resonated, what didn't, what content led to the most conversations or sales. Your data tells stories, and when you listen to those stories, you can refine your approach to create even more alignment. So now we understand the mistakes that we can make. What does conversion really look like? It doesn't always mean a buy now moment. It's about deepening trust and helping your audience take that meaningful step, whether it's joining a program, booking a discovery call, or even downloading a lead magnet that leads to your next offer. So when we shift our perspective from I need to make the sale to I'm here to support transformation, we remove that pressure. It's not all about closing the deal, it's about opening a door. So every sale is a decision, a moment of trust. So your role is to make that decision easy by showing how your offer supports their goals. So what does content that converts in a heart-led way actually look like? Well, the important thing to realize is that you don't need to change the way you create or what you create. And you definitely do not need to switch modes when you sell. The same energy that helps you to connect, to subscribe, to nurture can also convert. So when your offer is aligned, selling just feels like serving. It's the next natural step. So some things that you can do with your content include sharing stories and results. So instead of talking about what you offer, the features, show what's possible when someone works with you. So things like client stories, transformations, even your own experiences can help people connect those dots between where they are now and where they want to be. The second thing is use clear calls to action. Make it easy, make it simple. So make it easy for them to take the next step. Instead of saying, if you'd like to learn more, say, here's how we can work together. Be crystal clear. The third thing is to be consistent. So talk about your offers regularly, not just during launch periods. So when your audience hears about them often, it feels normal and it doesn't feel forced for them or you. And the last thing is to align them with your content ecosystem. So mention your offers everywhere you possibly can in your podcast, your blogs, videos, emails, social posts. They should just feel like a natural part of your content, not a specific add-on. So when you start to see conversion as this bigger picture, as another way to care for your audience and guide them forward, it becomes a whole lot easier. Selling stops feeling like a transaction and starts feeling like an extension of a relationship you've already built. It's not about convincing, about performing. It's about showing up with clarity, consistency, and of course, heart. So, as you think about how you're showing up in your content right now, let's take a moment to pause and reflect on how you approach this stage in your own client journey. Are you shrinking, apologizing, hesitating, hiding, or are you showing up with confidence, clarity, and compassion? I'd love for you to journal on these questions later or take time now to think about your answers. The first question is, how comfortable am I with making offers to my audience, and what stories am I telling myself about selling? Question number 2 is, do my offers clearly show the transformation I provide, or am I still hiding behind information? And number 3 is, when someone buys from me, how do I make that moment feel meaningful and celebrated? So when you see conversion as a continuation of connection and care, it stops feeling salesy and pushy and starts feeling supportive. If you're ready to strengthen this part of your client journey, you will love being inside the content effect. It's where we bring these strategies to life so you can create confident, purpose-driven content that connects and converts without the overwhelm. Now, as I wrap up this episode, I want you to take away 3 main things. The first thing is that conversion is an extension of connection. Selling doesn't have to feel separate from the rest of your content. It's simply the next natural step in the relationship that you've built, that you've nurtured, that you've created. When you lead with care and clarity, your audience feels supported, not sold to. The second takeaway is aligned offers come from service, not from pressure. So when your content consistently nurtures and educates, your audience already understands the value you bring. Conversion then becomes an invitation, a way to help them take the next step that feels right for them. And lastly, confidence in selling grows from consistency. The more you talk about your offers in a way that feels true to you, the easier it becomes. So each time you share, you're not being repetitive, you're reinforcing that trust, alignment, and belief in the transformation you provide. Talk soon. Thanks so much for listening. That's it for another week. To get more powerful content in your life, make sure you're following along on socials. My handle is @meldbusiness. And just in case you're wondering, the groovy music for this podcast was created by Just Here on SoundCloud. I'd also be super grateful if you took a moment to rate and review this podcast so more amazing women like you can experience the power of content. And if you're like, hell Mel, stop talking, I'm ready to work with you now, here's how we can work some powerful content magic together. Firstly, come and join the Content Effect, my membership inspiring women with service-based businesses to ditch the content chaos and start creating stand-out content that gets you noticed and makes sales. You can join us by using the link in the show notes or just Google the Content Effect. The second way we can work together is via my one-on-one packages. We can create a sustainable content strategy or start to build out your client journey. It's up to you. Pop on over to meldbusinessservices.com.au/services to find out more. Until next time, have a beautiful week and embrace the power of your content.